Welcome to the lab. With us today is Tad the Diet Coach.
Nice to be here.
Glad to have you. In the lab, we're talking to you about supplements and what they can do for you. Tad, what supplement are we looking at today?
Chromium. This is a product with chromium in it. There's several versions of chromium. The chromium that is most prevalent in for our purposes in terms of fitness and in terms of health, optimal health, is of course chromium picolinate. Now, it doesn't matter really. Your body will convert chromium. It's a trace element. It's non-essential, which means our bodies don't need it to live, but we can become deficient in it. And when people become deficient in it, they have a tendency to have higher instances of hypoglycemia, diabetes, and these kinds of things. And the reason why is because, well, the reason why we don't get a lot of it in our foods and why it's so important to take it in a supplement version. And I'm a big proponent of supplements anyways, but the reason why it's important to take it in a supplement version is because the soils in our country and in most countries of the world have been depleted of chromium. And so because we're really sort of over farming a lot of the soils and not giving them enough rest to be able to repopulate some of these minerals. And so chromium is, because it's a trace element, it's a very, very minuscule amounts. We need to get to get a nice effect from it, a therapeutic type of effect from chromium, you really need to take about 200 micrograms a couple of times a day. Usually between 2 and 3 times a day is what I usually recommend, 3 times a day. But you can take more of it and there's no toxicity, but it's in micrograms. And so if you know anything about your metric system here, a microgram is a very, very small amount. And so 200 micrograms of chromium really isn't a lot. And so that's how, to be able to get that in the soils, even in those small amounts, is unlikely for us to get those in some of the vegetable matter that we might grow in the United States, or some of the potatoes, or whatever it is that they might be found in. And it's just not enough. So taking a supplement form is an essential part of getting chromium in your diet. But what it does is it actually helps balance our blood sugar levels. It helps our bodies cope with our own insulin better. And so whenever you do that, the studies that they've done with chromium picolinate has shown that it does lower people's body fat, helps people control their blood sugar better, and they feel better in general. They also tend to add muscle better because they're actually controlling insulin levels better. Whenever you control insulin levels better, they're not too out of whack, you're not going to gain body fat, you're going to lose body fat faster, and you're going to hold on to tissue better. So chromium is definitely, in this industry, for somebody who works out and who's either trying to put on weight or even trying to lose body fat, it's an essential element. If you don't, and you might find it in your multivitamins, but in general, there's usually just not enough for it to create the therapeutic type of effect that you probably want. So, and chromium is so inexpensive. It's not that expensive. So we're talking $4 or $5 maybe for a bottle that's going to last you probably a month and a half, if not more. So chromium picolinate, I recommend 200 micrograms 3 times a day. It's an essential element for everyone to take for these purposes of fitness and optimal health.
All right, Tad, some very useful information about that supplement. Tad, thank you.
Well, thanks for having me again. And if anybody wants more information about what I do or some of these kinds of things, they can reach me on Facebook or my website, tadthedietcoach.com.
And thank you for watching at home. Make sure you click back soon for more great episodes.